Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Ben Crew here with his, well, it's a bitch. It's a back issue comic haul, but I'm still working a little bit on the overdue. I have probably one more video to do to finish that stack of books. But I thought I'd take a little break here. Did a trade with a fellow YouTuber, and then I thought I've been getting such a stack of books in the last 3-4 weeks that I thought I would show you some of those instead too, just to break up the monotony. But yeah, so let's get cracking here. Got a lot of books to do. So first book I want to talk about here is, this is Doctor Strange, Master of the Mystic Arts. It's volume 2. It's issue number 2. And TiVo showed this book on his latest video, or one of his most recent videos. And I had mentioned that this actually has an appearance of a Green Lantern ring in it. And I thought I would show that. It's been a while since I've talked about this kind of stuff here. It's kind of weird, but how every now and again. But all right, you see that white hand right there next to Hawkeye, and there's a little ring right there? That is a Green Lantern ring on there. And not only that, but if you see the person that Spidey is shooting his web on, that is Captain Midnight, who is actually an original Fawcett character. And just some really interesting stuff every now and again. Beautiful Frank Bruner cover on that book too. So yeah, there you go, TiVo. I don't know if you found it when you looked before, but that's what you're looking for. All right. And here's another book I came across recently. Now, once again, I don't go as far as to call these first appearances or anything of that nature. I just like this kind of stuff, and you can choose to do with it what you want. But this is Comics Collector. This is the spring of '94 issue. So remember, the new Teen Titans 44 came out July or August of '84. So this predates that. If you see right here, it's on the bottom, Robin becomes Nightwing. It's kind of interesting. It's got some cool pictures of what Nightwing is going to look like, they call it. I think they call it as the color, what do they say? A color rough. They call this a color rough. So it's so you can see it's not exactly 100%, and it really goes in depth and talks about the whole history of the Teen Titans for the last 20 years. There's another picture of him. So if you're a Nightwing fan or a completist or whatever, you might want to put that on your radar. All right, and it only cost me $1. Once again, I don't call these first appearances. I just think they're pretty cool. All right, also found this one for $1. It is a little beat up, but I've never seen it before. It's called Comics Feature, and this came out in November of '86, and it's a early appearance of the Dark Knight and Carrie Kelly. In fact, that might be her first cover. I'm not sure when the Dark Knight came out, but nonetheless, some really cool Frank Miller stuff here. Great looking Frank Miller Batman stuff there, and just really neat stuff to look at and read. And it talks about year one and how Frank was influenced on different things and that sort of a thing. So pretty cool stuff for $1. What the heck? And then lastly, for another $1, found another copy of Marvel Review '93. This is called Bring on the Bad Guys. It has Venom, Sabretooth, Deadpool, and it is done by Sam Keith. So if you're a fan of any of that stuff, you might want to pick this up. This is a double, so if anyone's interested, hit me up. Maybe we can talk about a trade, So, all right, moving along. Now we're going to talk about the trade that I did. The trade I did was with Weapon X, and this trade took quite a while to make happen. I think we started talking back in September of last year, and just from different things coming up in both of our ends, it just never came to fruition until recently. So we'll start off with the books that he sent me over and beyond the trade stuff. Here is Cyclops 12 and Captain Marvel 14, part of that Black Vortex that was pretty low print and quite sought after there. This book I didn't even remember talking about, but for some reason it ended up in the stack. I don't know how, but this is Uncanny X-Men Annual 14, second Gambit. So And on to the stuff that we actually did do for a trade. I'm a big fan of these Marvel Legends and Toy Biz reprints and that sort of a thing. So here is Alpha Flight number 10, Iron Fist number 8, and Daredevil 132. I already had one of these, but this is the different cover. There's, I think, 4 covers to this. This is the Dark Horse Presents Annual, which is the first appearance of Resident Alien. Here was a book that was hot for quite some time, but I think it's cooled off to, but it should peak back up when the Suicide Squad hits. This is Superman Family 204, a cover with the Enchantress on it, so very cool. Here is the variant edition to Incredible Hulk 98, part of the Planet Hulk run. Beautiful sketch cover there. Here is the standard, I believe they call this, 350th of the Uncanny X-Men. This doesn't have the shiny, glitz to it, so I have the other one already, so that one fills that out. Guardians of the Galaxy number 24. This is the second to the last issue of that run, so just one I need to fill. Superman Adventures 22, second Livewire appearance. Ghost Rider 92 out of Volume 2. Volume 2 of Johnny Blaze. Well, this isn't Johnny Blaze, but first volume was the Johnny Blaze. There was one before that with the Western Ghost Rider, but this is the one that went 94 issues. This is 92. Another one to fill the run. Uncanny X-Force number 17, which is the first appearance of the Psylocke as a horseman. This is the conclusion of the Dark Angel saga. This is number 18, still bagged. Emily the Strange, number 1 by Dark Horse. Don't know anything about this, so if anyone knows anything about Emily the Strange, maybe they can let me know, but it just sounded interesting and piqued my interest, so I ended up grabbing that. This one, I think Jimmy C's all about this particular book. This is the WWE's Superstar Secret Raw number 11. This is the cover swipe of Secret Wars 8, where you have Hollywood Hulk Hogan there. It is a badass cover. It is pretty cool. All right, a couple of second print variants. This is the Captain Marvel number 1 and to Black Widow number 1. So happy to have those. These, oh boy, this one here I've been wanting for quite some time. Battle Scars number 3. It's a Deadpool cover, and this is also the last issue that I need to finish that mini-series. This is one I've been wanting for, all these I've been wanting for quite some time. This is Super Friends number 7. This is the first appearance of Zan and Jaina, the Wonder Twins. Stupidly expensive on eBay. They want $40, $50 for this all day long. So, Hellblazer number 27. I'm not the biggest Hellblazer expert, but I did know, and Weapon X was nice enough to remind me about this, that this is a sought after issue. For sure it's a low print run. I'm not sure if there's anything else to be aware of with that issue. If there is, maybe someone will let me know. Saga of the Swamp Thing 21. This is a big upgrade for me for my other one, from my other previous issue. And this is the second issue that Alan Moore took over on the Swamp Thing, and I believe this is the origin issue too. So, all right. Last 3 books. The Fury of Firestorm 61. This is the Superman test logo. So now I do have both Superman test logos, Justice League 3 and Firestorm 61. So thank you on that, Hank. I appreciate it. Avenging Spider-Man number 9. Oh my God. I have the second print of this. I've been dying to get my hands on a first print. I know there's some of you out there that can find 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of this. I cannot. So, and I was not going to pay the eBay prices. So thank you so much, Weapon X, for hooking me up. And then the last one is Merc with a Mouth number 7. This is the introduction of Lady Deadpool. And this is the last issue I needed to fill my Merc with a Mouth run. So Very, very cool. Very, very happy to have these books. And I hope that you are happy with yours, Hank, or Weapon X. And I would love to talk to you about some stuff in the future if you're ever available. All right, so let's move on to these books I picked up in the last 4 to 5 weeks. Here is Action Comics #1. It is the 1988 reprint. There is one prior to this that is a sleeping bag insert. Came out in the 70s, 76, 78, somewhere around there. This is the second most sought after of the Action reprints. You can tell by the 50-cent cover price right there. This on a normal day will fetch anywhere from $35 to $50 raw. So very happy I paid $10 for that book. All right, Action Comics 275. A lot of things going for this book right here. This is an early Brainiac appearance. It's the first appearance of Red Kryptonite, and arguably it is the first appearance of the Heat Vision. And the reason I'm saying that is there's some contention. There's a Superboy book that does predate this, and I do own that Superboy book. That Mueller brought to our attention a while back. And Mueller, on a side note, dude, where have you been, man? I love your stuff. I wish we'd see another video from you. I talked to people that have seen you at cons, so I'm thinking you're buying books. If you are, please do a vid, man. You do awesome stuff, and would love to see another one from you. But getting back to this one, who brought this to our attention was, I believe, Lightning 2288 or Omega Shinryu Ken. So between the Superboy and this action comic, it's the first Heat Ray vision of Superman. Hope that makes some sense. Regardless, it's still an awesome book. And what did I pay for that? Like 15 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that. Found this one, Avengers 223, which just after the Civil War promo dropped. This book went crazy for a while there, where they actually showed Hawkeye shooting Scott Lang and Ant-Man on his arrow. So this is the book that is just an iconic cover. This is actually a double, so if anyone's interested, hit me up. It is a beautiful copy. So and speaking of the Civil War, this is some spoiler alert action right here. Spoiler alert. This is what had happened is there was a con or a show in Vegas a couple weeks back where, unbeknownst to the people, they actually did a secret or surprise viewing of Civil War. And there was a person that writes or is member of CBSI who was able to attend the viewing. And he was, once again, spoilers, so if you don't want to watch this, move ahead a little bit. He all but announced that it's a done deal that for sure Giant Man does show up in Civil War. So this book here, this is the first appearance of Giant Man. This is Hank Pym as Giant Man in Tales to Astonish 49. Paid $39 for this, $49, something like that. So very, very happy about that. If you want the first appearance, the first time that it shows Scott Lang as Giant Man, this would be your book. Avengers versus New Ultimates #1. There are a couple of variants to this, so you might want to be on the lookout for that if you're into that stuff. Another book that saw a huge tick in desirability after the Civil War was this book right here, Tales of Suspense #98. This was already a beautiful cover. I mean, this yellow cover is just, people go gaga for purple. For some reason, yellow covers just draw my attention. And beautiful Cap versus Panther cover there. And another one that was surprising that came out of nowhere as an homage or cover swipe to this in some extent is this book right here, the Ultimate Captain America Annual #1. So a couple books there, a few books that you might want to put on your radar if you haven't. All right. We all know that The Boys has now been all a done deal for optioned at Cinemax, which is awesome. Seth Rogen is behind this. I reported on this, almost a year ago when Seth Rogen was really trying to shop this around. So since that time, I got to give another nod out to CBSI. That's a terrific website. a lot wealth of information. They were going over some key appearances and issues that you want to pick up in the series. And here is a couple of them, besides one, obviously, is 2 and 3. Those are the next two big issues you want. Just obviously 2 and 3, low number, but these introduce a ton of characters that become very important in the series. So 1, 2, and 3, and if you want, 7 and 49 seem to be pretty popular too. All right, picked up a couple of Hasbro variants. I paid like $3 or $4 a piece for them. This is the Rocket Raccoon number 4. This is the Captain America Volume 5, Issue 14 homage. And here is Captain America 25. Love that cover. This is an homage. I believe it's Cap 115. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I do believe it's Cap 115. All right, so let's get these out of the way here. Trying to make this as quick as I can. I don't want to bore you guys. All right, this one I got to give a nod out to Weapon X and Longshanks. Did not know the importance or the relevance of this book. I do collect the Dark Horse Presents anthology. This is the last issue of the first series, issue 157. What makes this important is that this is apparently the first time Goon shows up in Dark Horse. Before predates Goon number 1 in Dark Horse. So this, if you look on eBay, they're asking 30, 40, 50 bucks for this book raw. Not sure if it sells for that much, but still, obviously a desirable book. I paid, I think it was $13 for that one, something like that. So picked up a couple of Daredevils, couple more Daredevils. There's number 13 and number 12. So I now have 6 issues I need to finish series 1. I need issues 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, and 10. So, I mean, 9 and 10, 5, 3, those for sure are doable. 2, maybe 1. Oh my God, that book is just crazy expensive. I would kill to have a number 1. Oh, what is this, huh? Yes, indeed, folks. This is a Daredevil number 1. I just picked this up a couple of days ago. I had no intention of buying this book when I was at the shop. In fact, it was the same shop that I picked up the Goon and a few of these other ones. But they had it in the case, and I saw it, and I said, man, can I look at this? And he let me look at it, and man, after some negotiations, some sexual favors, no, I'm kidding, but some long talks, whatnot, I ended up walking out of the shop with this book. They graded this as a VG minus. I guess it's that. I'm not a grader. I cannot grade. I am horrible at that stuff. But to me, it's in very nice shape for me. I mean, I'm very happy with this condition for this book. Oh, my God. I mean, I saw one where about this much of the cover, not half, but about that much of the cover was gone. And that still sold for over $400 raw. I see 2 O's sell for $400, $500, $600 raw. I paid less than Spidey fan CT78 paid for his. So a little bit less. So if that's the case, I don't want to I don't like talking about prices. But that'll give you a pretty good reference point. Picked up some Fantastic Four, his number 32, and number 33, which is the first appearance of Atuma. I've always liked this cover. It's just something about this cover has always appealed to me. So very happy to finally have that one in my collection. This one is just going back to my last video. I had mentioned that there was a snippet of footage from Batman vs. Superman that wasn't in the movie that got released later on a website. And there was some heavy speculation. What it was a alien that was juggling what people are thinking are the mother box. And people are speculating what this alien is or who it is. And the forerunners are Steppenwolf, which is this issue here, New Gods, Volume 1, number 7. Or they think it could be Darkseid's father, who shows up in the book I showed last video, Volume 3, number 17, I believe it is. So, all right. Moving along. Got to get a nod out this time to Super Joe Tail. He brought this up in his last video, and it piqued my interest, so I went on down Went to one shop and they were crazy on their prices. They wanted $70 for this thing. Went to another shop and got this for $18. Yeah, 20 plus 20% off, so $18. This is Nucleus number 1. This is the first time Cerebus shows up outside of his own book. So, you know, Cerebus is if you're looking for those premier independent characters, you cannot look no further than Cerebus and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yeah, and this is his, once again, his first time showing up out of his book. And Super Joe Tail is right. If you look on eBay, people are crazy again on their prices. $40, $50, $60 for this thing. Like I said, one of my shops was asking $70, but if you're patient, you can get this for, you know, 15, 20 bucks. So I'm happy about that. All right, this is the variant to Punisher Max number 1. Just love this cover with Kingpin in the background, and you know he's pulling the strings on Frank there, so it's pretty cool. All right, this book here, interesting book, Scud number 9. This is the action variant cover. It's not a variant, it's the action figure cover that, in my opinion, started the action figure variant craze that we are in today. This came out, oh my God, I can't remember, 1995, October of 95, and it's, as far as I know, the first action figure variant cover. Maybe there's one or two before that, but this is at least a very early one. And people just went gaga over this book, and it's still a very desired book by people who collect Scud. I am still looking for an issue number 1 first print. People are asking crazy money on that one, 90 bucks, 100 bucks. So, but anyway, here is Super Friends number 5, another Super Friends issue. All right, Strange Tales number 164, just always working on my Doctor Strange stuff. This is a book I can't believe I never had in my collection until now. This is Supernatural Thrillers number 5, another yellow cover. This is the first appearance of the Living Mummy, who becomes a member of the Creature Commandos. So very, very cool. I always loved this cover too with that yellow background. So. And speaking of monsters, I was able to find Marvel Preview number 8. This is the Legion of Monsters, which feature Morbius, which I do have his first appearance, which is in Amazing Spider-Man 101. And then also Blade, who makes his appearance in Tomb of Dracula number 10. That's a book that's crazy in price now, too. I mean, you can't touch that book for under $200, it seems like. Man, I'd love to have, I mean, I collect Tomb of Dracula, so man, I would love to have one of those. Maybe, there we go. Tomb of Dracula number 10, first Blade. I just got this a couple days ago myself, so I paid $77, I think it was, for this. So extremely happy about that price. I mean, you can't touch, the cheapest I see these books on eBay is 140, 150 bucks in beat up condition, so I'm very happy to have this book. So, another big key off the list. Been wanting that for quite some time. Speaking of vampires, I was able to pick up a 30 Days of Night first print, volume 1. You know, this is the Stephen Niles, Ben Templesmith book that obviously was made into a movie with Josh Hartnett, and this spawned several different volumes of the book. So this is what started all that. Just another one. If you were going to start that list of modern day independents that you want to have in your collection, this would have to be put on there. 30 Days of Night number 1 first print. All right. And I paid 30 bucks for that, 33 bucks I think it was. Walking Dead number 1. This is 108, no, number 1. Excuse me, Walking Dead 108. This is the first appearance of King Ezekiel. Everybody's been showing this. I figure I better get one. I don't have a ton of Walking Dead books. You probably maybe have noticed, but this, if I can find them cheap, I paid 12 or 13 bucks. Wanted to pay 10, but he wanted a couple, 3 more bucks, so thought, oh, what the heck. And this, like I said, it's the first appearance of King Ezekiel, and is it Sheva, the tiger? And people are convinced that the kingdom is going to be showing up in the future episodes of The Walking Dead. They believe so because the two people that rescued Morgan and Carol wore those goofy outfits. They believe that's the kingdom. And some people have professed to have seen a tiger footprint in the season finale. I don't know. You make your own decision on that. All right. Last three books. Well, not the last three, but these three books here. At the con that I was at recently, where I picked up the Hawkman 4 and the Evil Ernie #1, I was at a table, and I'll let you look at this, and knew this vendor. I bought quite a bit of books from him, and I see this guy looking at a 3-pack of books. And I'm sitting, once I knew what they were, I'm thinking to myself, don't buy them, please don't buy them, don't buy them, don't buy them, please put it down. And thankfully the guy put them down. So I said, hey, can I see those? And then the owner of the booth came back, and I knew him, and I said, I said, what's the best you can do on this? And he wanted $200 for the 3 books. And he looked at it for a while. He goes, for you, I could maybe do 130. And I looked at him and said, God, is there any way you can do 110? And he goes, yes, for 110, I got these 3 books. Here's Why the Last Man, #3, Why the Last Man, #2, and yes, and Why the Last Man, #1. Oh my God. I just looked at, I watched a auction close on eBay for issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And trust me, most of that money that they were bidding on was not going for issues 3, 4, and 5. It was going for this one for sure, and a little bit more on that one. But it closed at $245, $265 plus shipping. If you look at the buy it now, you can't touch #1 for under $200 raw. #2 is going for $30, $40, $50 raw. So very, very happy to have these. This is another book that, you can't really call Vertigo an independent title, but, it's one of those seminal books. Brian K. Vaughan. I mean, it's just, everybody knows what this is. Hopefully they will go ahead and get this on as a TV or movie. I'm not sure. But anyways, thought I would end this video with some treasuries. I do love my treasuries. I don't think I'm going to be able to put these up. No, I'm going to have to keep these on their side. Hold on a second here. Let's start with this one. I don't know that one. Sorry to bring this. Here we go. This one right here. This one actually has a back to it. This is Fantastic Four. This is the Marvel Treasury number 21. This reprints, 120 through 122, I believe, of Fantastic Four with the Galactus Devourer story. Here is the Christmas giant superhero holiday grab bag. Has different reprints of a Hulk, Power Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Nick Fury, that sort of a thing. So pretty cool. This one, I just love this cover. Oh my gosh, look at this, huh? Conan the Barbarian. This is number 15. He has like 3 or 4 treasuries, Conan does. But this has Red Sonja in it. This has artwork by Neil Adams, by Barry Windsor Smith, few other people. So just kick ass. Just love that. This one, well, we'll do this one next. The Sensational Spider-Man. This reprints, I believe it's 101 through 103 or 100 through 102, something like that, where he takes on Morbius, Lizard, Vulture, and Octopus in various stories. This one is very cool for one big reason. This is Rampaging Hulk. It is number 26 of the Marvel Treasuries. And the reason that this is cool is this actually has an original Wolverine and Hercules story in it. So this is this is not a reprint. This is an actual original Wolverine story. 2 last books. Picked up Power of Shazam this is the DC ones. They did them in C's. They label everything C. C27. Some beautiful old original Shazam stories. And the last one, if you're an Alex Toth fan, oh my gosh, look at that cover, huh? To the Super Friends. Oh my God. Oh, you got everybody there, including Aquaman. So, oh, just beautiful, beautiful stuff. So, Alex Toth is well missed in the industry. So, beautiful stuff. So, that's all that I have for my stuff right now this week. So, thank you for putting up with me for darn near 30 minutes. I apologize it's so long. But hey, thank you so much, Weapon X, for the trade, and Ben Cruz signing off.